I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing you another action figure review. Today we're looking at the McFarlane Fortnite Dyer action figure. This is a werewolf skin that you get in the Fortnite game. Really cool and really unique. There's not a lot of werewolf action figures in the 6 and 7 inch scale out there, so I welcome this to my collection. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see, it's in the purple Fortnite package. Got Fortnite on the top, 22 moving parts, and honestly, in my experience, McFarlane could boast a lot more than 22 moving parts in these guys. You can see Epic Games down here, Dyer, ages 12 plus. There's this holographic barcode thing here. I've got all these McFarlane figures. I've never figured out what you could do with this. If anybody knows, please let me know. Then you can see the actual figure in there. Of course, he's got the standard McFarlane accessories, a stand, back bling, gun, and pickaxe or harvesting tool. Then you can see here on the side, werewolf guy posted up, doing a little dance. Other side, pretty much the same thing. The top, Fortnite Dyer. There's Dyer, McFarlane Toys with the Spawn logo here. The bottom, we've got a barcode in case anybody needs that, as well as a bunch of credits. And here on the back side, you can see we've got Dyer and Havoc, a couple recently released figures. And then you can see some of the earlier waves down here, as well as a glider pack. McFarlane really starting to get these guys coming out on a regular basis now. So with no further ado, let's open them up. And then just FYI, I did get my figure from GameStop.com. If you spend $50, you get free shipping. Of course, they price these guys at $24.99, so two of them equals $49.98. Not enough to get free shipping, so I had to wait till there was a third figure available before I could claim my free shipping. Alright, well now that we got this guy out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with a Fortnite stand. He comes with a shotgun called the Spaz 12 pump shotgun. He's got the harvesting tool or pickaxe called the Tenderizer. And then he's got the Wolfpack back bling. Both the back bling and the pickaxe are specifically intended for the Dyer skin. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out this actual figure. Now I must say, I really like this skin in Fortnite. This is one you would earn from doing challenges a few seasons ago. I always thought it was really cool. Werewolf, nice cool howl emote for him and all this fun stuff. And I was like, I really hope they make an action figure of him, and here it is. This thing is really cool. It's got his fangs, headband, sort of mohawk thing going on, ripped up jacket, some fur on him, just overall looking great, ripped jeans. His legs kind of have that dog sort of articulation. Really like that. His feet look cool too. He's got nunchucks hanging off the back. Don't really know what's up with that. It is game accurate though. So all in all, this guy's a really cool looking figure so far. You don't get too many werewolves out there. Next, let's check out his accessories. Let's go and start off by looking at his stand. He's got the Fortnite logo at the bottom, 2 pegs above that, just some plastic, hollow plastic. I really don't like stands very much. I think your figure should be able to stand on their own without that on the shelf. So this thing's going to end up in a huge box of stands, never to be seen again. So next, let's check out his back bling. This is sort of a backpack in the game, although it sure just looks like a sword in a sheath. And that's pretty much what the toy looks like too. I mean, it does have the peg hole for his back. The sword is not removable. That would have been really cool. I do remember getting this, and it was kind of one of the first swords for the back blings they made. Now there's been a few others. Just kind of unique. I guess with the nunchucks and a sword, this wolf is some kind of ninja. And then here he is wearing his back bling. You can see the sword handle sticking out from the back. Here he is turned around. And I must say, my back bling, the peg must be a little bit thinner than usual, but it falls out very easily on this guy, and that's a little bit annoying. And if you really wanted to, you could have him holding his back bling as if it is a sword. Of course, it's still inside the sheath. And the Overtaker is another one that came with a sword sheath back bling, although his is attached to a backpack as well. And then here's his back bling next to all the different back blings that McFarlane has made for the Fortnite figures. and these are all interchangeable between each of the characters. Now here are all the Jazwares and McFarlane 6 and 7 inch scale back blings that they've made so far. We do have a large variety to choose from. Unfortunately, they're not interchangeable between the two lines. The pegs on the back are thicker and thinner on the Jazwares and McFarlane back blings. And then here are several of the different McFarlane figures wearing each other's back blings, showing that they are truly interchangeable. Each back bling will pretty much fit each figure. And like I said before, the back blings between Jazwares and McFarlane are not interchangeable. It is the only one of their accessories that is not interchangeable between the lines, and it's a little bit disappointing. Simply the peg on the back bling is thinner on the McFarlane and thicker on the Jazwares, so they just don't fit into each other's hole. As you can see, the hole in the back of the McFarlane simply just does not fit in no matter how hard you try. And then for the Jazwares, the McFarlane is just too thin, it comes right out. Next, let's check out his harvesting tool, or more commonly known as a pickaxe in the game. His is called the Tenderizer. It's very appropriate for a werewolf who's presumably eating raw meat, flesh, and you want to tenderize that thing. Of course, the front of it looks like a meat tenderizer, nice sculpting detail, a lot of texture on this thing. See the front, I can see some texture on here, some different texture here where he grips it. Overall, this thing has a lot of sculpting detail, a lot of different colors, and overall, it's a really nice looking pickaxe. And then here he is holding his tenderizer, the pickaxe. He's got a place to grip on both his hands, looking pretty good. You can imagine Dyer walking down, hearing some noise, just has to chop his way through the wall, not only get some brick, but figure out what that sound is. Well, as he broke through the wall, got some brick, figured out what that sound was, there's a chest back there. And then as he opened the chest, looks like he's got a tack shotgun, some grenades, and a 50 healing potion for shields. And then here's his pickaxe next to all the different pickaxes that McFarlane has made for the Fortnite figures. Quite a bit of options so far. And then here are all the McFarlane pickaxes as well as the Jazwares Legendary Scale pickaxes. We have got a whole bunch of different customizable options for our characters. And yes, I'm happy to say that these are interchangeable between both brands of figures. Here are several different McFarlane figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing that they're interchangeable between the characters, and pretty much each pickaxe will work with each McFarlane figure. And then here are a couple of McFarlane figures holding Jazware pickaxes and vice versa, showing that they are interchangeable between the two lines, which is a big plus. Next, let's take a look at his shotgun. This is a Spaz 12 pump shotgun. This is pretty much like the epic or legendary version of the pump shotgun. This is not currently available in the game, but it was cool for a while. As you can see, it's got several different colors, a lot of sculpting details. I do think this thing looks pretty good. And then of course, here he is holding his gun. He's holding it with his right hand. This is his trigger hand. He's using his left hand to support the barrel. As you can see, his trigger finger fits into the trigger just fine. And then here it is next to a couple of other shotguns that McFarlane has made. We've got the Spaz here. We've got the Heavy here. We've got the double barrel here and the tack here. Now they sure haven't made them all, but we're starting to get quite a few. And then here's his gun next to all the different McFarlane Fortnite guns they've made so far, not including the doubles. And then here are all the different guns they've made between the McFarlane and Jazwares Legendary series, not including the doubles between both the lines. Getting to be a huge arsenal to choose from now. And then here are several different McFarlane Fortnite figures holding each other's guns, showing that pretty much any gun works in any of the figure's hands. Here are a couple of the McFarlane figures holding some Jazwares guns and Jazwares figures holding McFarlane guns. I really do like the fact that the guns are scaled pretty similarly and are interchangeable between the two brands of figures. Not only do they fit, but they actually look pretty good too. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at his accessories, next I want to see how he fits with the McFarlane glider and quad crasher. Here he is next to the glider. As you can see, so far he's scaling up pretty good. As you can see here, he's getting ready to bounce off this launch pad, getting ready to cover a lot of ground with his glider. And then I would say yes, he does fit in good with the glider. As you can see, here he is hanging on to the handlebars. I usually have their feet wrap around the transparent stand part to keep him sort of leaning backward. Overall, looking pretty good. And how can you have a Fortnite character without a glider? And then here he is driving the quad crasher. Scales up pretty good. I must say, the way this guy's laser designed, he's probably the best one to drive this thing of all the figures. And then here he is riding on the back, trying to get some shotgun kills while Havoc drives him around. Next, let's try out a couple of accessories that I really like to use to enhance my Fortnite figures. Here they are in a shopping cart war, two duos pushing against each other, trying to get some kills while they're in the shopping carts. The shopping cart is vaulted nowadays, but it was one of the first vehicles we ever got. Speaking of shopping carts, the McFarlane shopping cart pack with 2 figures is available for pre-order at Amazon.com right now for a pretty fair price. $39 for 2 figures in a shopping cart. Looking forward to getting that. It's supposed to be due out in late October. Here are the couple of guys healing up using the campfire. I got this campfire from a NECA Friday the 13th Jason figure and realized it was absolutely perfect for these Fortnite guys. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at all the accessories and other accessories you can use for him, next let's check out the height of this figure. So this guy here, from bottom to top, is sitting at just a hair above 7 inches. Next, let's try this guy's articulation. So his head here, of course, can go from side to side. It can look up, not too much, down a lot. He does have articulation under the chin, under the head here, as you can see. He also has neck articulation at the base as well, so his neck can move in 2 places. Then he has this sort of fur piece in the middle that can kind of move a little bit, not hindering any of the articulation. Shoulders go out more than 90 degrees. There is a ball joint inside of here. They go out that far, up, down, around. He's got a bicep cut below that. Got double jointed elbows below that. They can go all the way inside. His hand, of course, it can swivel, and it's hinged as well. He's got this waist articulation here, way more than an ab crunch or a waist swivel. It's a ball joint side of here. It can go side to side, forward, back a ton, giving him a huge range of motion there. He's got another ball joint below here, but it doesn't have nearly as much articulation. Go around just a hair and forward and back a little bit. His legs go out full 90 degrees, no problem. Got a unique bit of articulation inside of here. Can move at the base here, and they can also move on the inside part there. Go forward about that much. Then back, really not at all. He's got double joint knees here. Go back that far. Then his leg goes back, and then back here. There's no articulation in this part. Then his foot. It's got a ball joint, or sort of a ball inside of here, and go forward and back. He does have this toe articulation as well. And if you were to want to rotate this ball inside of here and then rotate his foot back, keeping the ball in place, then his foot could rock like so. Next, let's check this guy out compared with some other action figures, starting with some other Fortnite figures. And then we'll see how this guy fits in with other action figure lines, both scale and style-wise, in case you're curious how Werewolf will fit in with some of your other lines. Here he is next to a couple of the most recently released McFarlane Fortnite figures. We've got Havoc, Dire, and Inferno. The next figure they're going to be releasing is the Prisoner, and I think he looks really cool. Next after that is going to be Red Strike, that's an Amazon.com exclusive, and then I believe Peely will be after that. And then here he is next to Overtaker and the Ice King. These were in the series previously released before the ones I just showed. And then here he is next to McFarlane's entire Fortnite collection. Here's one of each figure they've released so far. And then here's my entire McFarlane Fortnite collection. You may wonder why I have some of the duplicates. I got extra Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Henchmen of the Batman world, and I got all 4 of the different wild cards so I could have all 4 of the different heads on at once. I use them as my Royal Flush Gang in my DC action figure world. Here he is next to all the different Jazwares Legendary Series Fortnite figures they've made so far. There's a total of 11 of them, and several more on the horizon. And then here's my entire 6 and 7 inch McFarlane and Jazwares Fortnite collection. Starting to get a ton of figures here. Like I said before, got the wild cards for the Royal Flush Gang in my DC Batman world, Rabbit Raiders for Mad Hatter Thugs, and Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Henchmen. And then here's this guy in a huge battle royale with all my Fortnite figures, all trying to kill each other, see who can get more kills and get the win. As you can see here are these guys driving, shooting each other, exploding, gliding, getting loot. Everyone here trying to see who can get more kills and who can get the win. Next, let's check this guy out compared with some other action figure lines to see how he fits in both scale and style wise. Now, I don't really have a lot of other werewolf figures, but here are some that I've customized into other things. This here is a Marvel Legends werewolf. I took his head off, put onto the suited guy to make Fox from the Terrible Trio in Batman. And this here was some horror Little Red Riding Hood werewolf creature that I customized into Wolf from Batman Beyond. He kind of reminds me of this bat creature from Batman vs Superman, sort of the animalistic design. These are both pretty cool figures for your horror world, and they both have that sort of animalistic leg design going on down there. Here he is next to some of his fellow McFarlane brother action figures. These are some McFarlane figures from several different action figure lines. Here he is next to some DST or Diamond Select Toys action figures. And here he is next to some NECA figures. Here he is next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles action figures. Here he is next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And then here he is next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse action figures. Here he is next to some Mafex figures. Here he is next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends action figures. And here he is next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. So I must say this is a very solid action figure. I like him. I like it a lot. First of all, I have the skin. Second of all, I like the skin a lot. I really hope they were going to make a figure of it when I saw the skin in the game, and they sure did. There are so many different uses for a werewolf in your action figure worlds. This figure is great for Fortnite purposes and for general action figure purposes. If I were to rate this figure, I'd give him a 7.5, maybe even an 8 out of 10. This guy's pretty nice. His articulation is good, his detail is good, sculpt is good, a lot of unique parts. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.